everybody? How are we doing today? I'll get my level set here. How are we doing? How's everybody doing? How was the end of your year? How's the start of your year? I need to turn that down in mine. How do I do that? There we go. What's up? I am Jordan with 9 to 5 Toys. Hey, what's up, Robert? Good to see you again. Hey, Chris. Donut. What's up, Grant? Go nuts for donuts. I run the YouTube side of things here at 9 to 5 Toys. And yeah, this week I kind of thought we would take a look back at 2023, kind of what we covered, what was cool, what wasn't cool, what some of the big things were, and then also kind of take a look forward to 2024. Some changes that might be coming up, any suggestions that you all have of things you'd like to see more or less of, and yeah, just kind of get some good feedback. How you doing? I also think that 2024 could be the year of giveaways, because I was going through my cupboards, my storage, and I have a large stack of headsets that I don't think I will ever use again for comparisons that I might be getting out of here. So I need to figure out exactly what that looks like for giving away on YouTube. But that's something, if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. That's something that I think we will be trying to do a lot more of this year. Just because I give away a lot of stuff to friends and family, but I still have just too much stuff lying around. So we gotta get rid of some of that. Turn off my camera tracking here. Grant says, hoping for more gaming streams. Great, let's do it. AoE 4 streams, please. Maybe I'll have my guest host, Grant, help with those. Pop on for a little bit and show us how it's done. So, kind of looking back at, things we covered this last year. It's kind of crazy. The first video we did was obviously like about CES last year and Razer and some of their bigger stuff, which was pretty fun. CES was interesting going last year. The first time I got COVID was going to it 1 year ago, which was a bummer. But it was a fun experience just because a lot of the 9 to 5, I think we had like 20 people there from the entire 9 to 5 community. And so that was really cool. All right, Chris, more gaming streams. All right. I like that. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Curious, my analytics. Oh, yeah, 2042. We should get in. You know what I re-downloaded the other day? Escape from Tarkov. I haven't played it yet. I'm kind of worried to try it again. But I heard the new updates are pretty good, and I thought that might be kind of interesting for some new tests coming up here too. Looking at my YouTube analytics, I can see that most people are watching my videos in the afternoons Eastern time, like between 12 and 5. So I'm trying to decide if it's too hardcore yet. Trying to decide if sorry, back on that topic. I kind of feel like it's easier to watch than play because there's so much to it. Like remembering all the little things, it's pretty intense to play. That game and sim racing are probably the two that like really get my heart rate up when I'm gaming. Those two games in particular. PUBG used to do that when we would get to the end of like a zone or a round. But oof, Tarkov, I'll get your heart rate going. So yeah, I'm trying to think what would be the best time to do that for people. Is in the afternoon, is that a good time for people to pop in and watch a little bit? Or we've been doing the Wednesday night Forza streams, but I'm thinking about moving that to during the day. I don't know. We might just play around with a few things and kind of see what sticks early this year. Left 4 Dead. Yes. Trouble in Terrace Town. That'd be fun to do with viewers. That was such a fun game. Grant's always lining people up. But yeah, those are some good notes. Those are actually, I should actually take notes, write these down. Where's my pen? Yeah, I haven't really played 2042 very much recently. I've been spending too much time on Forza, so that would be good to think about incorporating a little bit more of that back into the channel. Hey Robert, appreciate it. That's right, hit the like. It helps with setting the tone and in general, keeps our host cheerful. That's right. I always appreciate that. I think that helps with the algorithm, right? Gets a few more people in here. Appreciate that. .2042's recurrent learn keyboard and mouse game. Yeah, it's a good solid game, and everything I see recently, it seems like it's still making good. It has good forward momentum. I think like changes they're making are good. And I'm pretty sure we saw recently, or they announced or teased that there will be another season, so that's good. I think it was a little unsure what the future was going to be like for 2042, so it'll be fun to see more stuff come into that. I believe with new maps, which will be exciting. So definitely be a time to jump in. Yeah, a really long way since its release. Looking back here, it'd be kind of crazy to go back and watch some of the original gameplay. That was a while ago. Anywho, well, yeah, we'll kind of just go through here a little bit. I'm just going to kind of talk about some of the different things that we've reviewed in 2023. If you have any questions or want to talk about a specific product or something comparable, let me know, and we can spend a little bit of time diving into that. But otherwise, I'm just going to kind of browse here and kind of mention some things as we look back. 2023 was the first year I did a from scratch PC build, which is kind of crazy. I had done pretty much every part of a build like separately throughout the last, I don't know, 5 years, swapping motherboards, CPUs, graphics cards, swapping cases. But this was the very first time like brand new components in a brand new case that I put together. Which was a lot of fun to do. I really enjoyed doing that. Learned some things, obviously, along the way. A lot of people commented about how I had my PSU oriented in there, which was good. Made sure that the fans are able to breathe. But yeah, that was a blast. And the H9 was a really easy case to build in, too. So it worked really well for that. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit here. There we go. That might work better. Wait, where were we? Here we were. Chimera Duo. I don't know what it is, but I find PC building like peaceful. Yeah. Yeah, I can totally see that. It's kind of like, when everything, so for me, it can be very peaceful until something like any sort of, like in-depth tech issue pops up that you can't figure out. Then it gets really stressful. But like when things are going together, it's fun. It's like, I don't know, putting together Legos, you're figuring out how to route things, how to mount things. And if you have the time to take your time with it, I think it's a lot of fun. Great experience. I just hate that certain components cost as much as rent nowadays. Yeah. There are some very expensive pieces out there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, nice. What case are you going with? Do you already have one picked out? All right, moving on a little bit. We just talked about the H9, Chimera Duo, mod mic for IEMs, which is really an interesting concept. I've mentioned this a few times, but IEMs and earbuds have never really been my way to go up until the Sony's, the in-zone buds, especially for wireless. I absolutely love these. But this is a very interesting concept. If you have IEMs and you want a mic, you can basically just get an inline mic for your IEMs, which is a pretty cool concept. Asus AP201. I don't know if I know that one. Take a look here. Micro ATX. Oh, nice, yeah. Looks nice and clean. I like it. That's what I love about these NZXT cases I've been using, is they just look so clean and simple. I like that aesthetic. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing how it goes. Yeah, here's some more 2042 content when classes came back 11 months ago, which is kind of crazy. One, that they were gone, and then two, it's only been a year since they came back, which is pretty crazy. Of course, we had some sponsored stuff this year too. We got Growat, the Wise Telephoto, and Campan V3. So they launched a bunch of new products this year. Oh, my head's covering that up. And I use these, I have them set up watching my front door, so I use these daily. And I've had, for the most part, for the price point, pretty good experience with those. Obviously, you could get things that are a lot better for more expensive, but Wise definitely has affordable home surveillance stuff here. The Earfun Air Pro 3, really affordable budget earbuds. I've actually been very pleasantly surprised with most things that I've tried from Earfun. They're definitely in the budget category, but typically they're some of the most comfortable that I've tried, and they're, you know, packed with features and technology, ANC, wireless charging. It's always really impressive what they can put in there for the price point, and they sound decent too. So always something to check out if you are looking for kind of a budget earbud. The Air Pro 3s were good, but they've had some other really good ones too. I actually think we might even have a new one to check out that I haven't opened up yet. I can't remember exactly what that is. The Rocket Magma Mini, $50. I don't remember much about this keyboard. I'd say it was a pretty didn't last too long on my desktop for being used, but $50 is pretty hard to beat because there are some very expensive keyboards out there. My wife's been setting up an office for her work. She started to do some writing for 9 to 5 Toys, reviewing kitchen and home good products. And so she has an old MacBook Pro, and we set her up with a monitor so she can use that. And then yesterday she was looking for a keyboard and mouse. I'm like, oh yeah, just come out to the office and do some shopping. So she was like trying out all the different keyboards that we have out here, trying to find which one she likes. She ended up, the favorite one that she tried, it was 60%, but it was the Cooler Master that we reviewed. Gosh, that would have been a while ago. I don't even know what year that was. It's like a Cooler Master, like SK something. Let me see if I'll have to search for it and see if I can find it. go back up here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. SK622. This is the one that she loved. Or that she's using, at least currently. I think partially, I mean, it's wireless, so she really wanted that. But it also is smaller, so she can kind of fit it on like a little lap desk and use it if she wants. It has keys on here for both Mac and PC for her MacBook Pro, so, and she liked the feel of it. But I just thought it was interesting seeing, you know, she doesn't really have a whole lot of experience with, or much of any experience with mechanical keyboards. So it was just interesting seeing her like plink around and try different things and figure out what she liked. Okay. We also had the Corsair HS55, HS65 wireless headsets, very affordable. We had the Playseat Trophy, which this is a great cockpit. It has its limitations when it comes to adjustability, and they're definitely more affordable ones out there, like the GT Racer from Next Level Racing that we just did. But this is a solid, stylish, mobile, I would say, cockpit. Like, it's lightweight, so you can kind of push it around your room and put it exactly where you want it pretty easily. So, really cool piece there if you're into sim racing. This is something, this Kobotix Real Racer FPV RC car. Beyond just the camera FPV mode of it, this thing was so much, it's so much fun to drive. Like, my kids and I would use this actually quite a bit. Recently, some of the suspension broke on it, so I need to see if that's something that I can get from them to replace. But other than that, this was very fun to drive around. And it had I would say a rough life with my kids. And so it's probably not how it's meant to be used as far as like the suspension issues that it ended up having. But it was just a blast to use. I loved, finding little tracks around, loops around my living room that I could try to do a little bit faster and move out there. So those are a lot of fun. And the FPV aspect of it is pretty cool too. It can be a little much, but was pretty fun. We also had the NZXT Player 3 with the 4070 Ti. Super solid. This is what I'm using I'm using it for my sim rig. It's basically running the entire thing over there. So that's what I'm using to game and stream over at that one. And it's been working great for me. Actually, I think I had to return one of the 4070. I think I had to return the 4070 Ti from my main computer. So I stole the 4070 Ti out of the Player 3 and put it in my main and just have the 4070 in the Player 3 now. And that's what I'm using over there for our Forza streams. Also had a macro keyboard shootout with the Black Widow V4 versus the Corsair K100. Big macro keyboards. I don't really use these very often. I've got the 75, the Drop Sense 75 set up on my desk now, and I really like that layout. There are times, though, I do some 3D work, and so occasionally I like to have a full-size keyboard that has the numpad for being able to control and input, different numeric values. And so pulling up something like that, I think I have a different Corsair I usually grab and put on my desk when I'm doing that. So definitely have their uses, but usually aren't staying on my keyboard or on my desktop very often. Saw some releases from Glorious Model 02 Wireless, which was an interesting release. If you saw that video, like, it was just confusing with their Pro line that they kind of came out with when they did the Glorious Forge. It was just interesting to see how all that played out, and how they started to implement this new second generation of some of their mice compared to the Pro mice. Let's see, what else do we have? We had the Shroud PC, the MG1 Shroud. I kind of thought that this video would get, I guess, you expect with the name like Shroud, you expect that, would have some sort of reach or a lot of people clicking on it. So I expected a little bit more out of this video. I mean, 5.9 is not bad. But considering, the work we put into it, comparing these 3 different PCs, I hoped for a little bit more. And it kind of feels like that's how it always goes. The more work you put into something, it seems like it doesn't always actually pay off. And then we had the Drop Sense 75, which the version we have was, I think, the official release. It was kind of, sent out to some reviewers and people before it was officially released, and they had, quite a bit of pretty tough feedback, but I would also say accurate feedback. Didn't watch it because it was about pre-builds. Yeah, totally, that makes sense. But then a lot of the feedback that reviewers gave, Drop ended up implementing into the actual production version, which is what we got. And so, the video title, Why Does Everyone Hate This Keyboard? Which, the version that we got was more updated and had a lot of the things that people were asking for in their early reviews. So I love this keyboard, and it's a lot more affordable now. Let me see if I can log into Drop and get the actual price. I think it's at least 50% off most of the time. Okay, right now it's saying it's $200, which even that, I feel like we've seen it for less than that recently. So I mean, it's still a lot of money, but it's my favorite keyboard that I have in my arsenal right now. We also saw the Clutch Gladiate, which is a great budget gaming controller, but after that we saw an even better, I think, budget gaming controller with the GameSir G7 SE, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. Some camera stabilizer or phone stabilizers, gimbals, Insta360 Flow. Always nice to have if you shoot a lot of video of family or adventures, or if you're a creator who uses your phone quite a bit. Yeah, Chris says love the G70. Yeah, it is solid. For the price, it is just crazy. So we also had the NZXT Capsule Mini, which, I think over the holidays we saw a few people asking about this because it was on sale. My recommendation was just kind of like, yeah, if you can get a really good deal, it's great. But a lot of the microphones in this price point all sound great, and so it's hard to and the solo cast that I usually recommend is usually more affordable than most of them, so that's usually what my default recommendation is. Amazing purchase, even more so if you can get it for $35 or $40. Yeah, seriously. Got the HyperX keyboard Saturday. The little emoji thing's always in the way. For the price, I like it. No frills or anything. Which keyboard did you get? Okay. It's about NZXT Origin 65. Nice. Yeah, absolutely. I really love that keyboard. That was the other one that my wife decided to try. It's not wireless, which changes the use for her, but she really liked the feel of that one too. I love that keyboard. If you can get it for a good price on that, it's the switches and everything feel really good, but it's also like it has so much weight to it. Like it just feels a lot more premium than it actually is. And obviously weight doesn't always necessarily mean that it's more premium, but it just feels better. It doesn't feel like a small chintzy keyboard like the Razer Huntsman Mini, which is very lightweight and feels chintzy. It feels plastic. $80 before tax. Nice. Yeah. Which switches did you get? Were we talking about this before? Did you change your name recently? Oh, I'll check something real quick. About the linear? Yeah, nice. I have the Aqua Tactile, which I love. Yeah, okay, I thought so. I think after the last live stream, I Googled it. I tried to do the Google Translate to see what your name translated to, and what did it say? It said like a silly goose or something like that. That's really funny. Because I never knew what to call you. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were in the right category for this video, which I think we are. Let's see here. Okay. All right, we talked about the capsule. We had the 4070 versus the 4070 Ti. 4070 is what I have in my in the Player 3 right now. That's what I'm using for the Simric. So all of our Forza streams and everything have been on that recently. Some new NZXT coolers, which is always interesting to swap out a cooler on a CPU. Title of this was, do you need them? No. Will you want them? Probably. Like, it didn't make a difference for me, at least, in the actual cooling numbers. But they had some fun visual aspects to it, like more a better screen resolution and refresh rate, which is kind of funny to say if you're CPU cooler, but if you're really into the look of your cooler, those are great. The Turtle Beach Stealth Pro, a great sounding headset, has some great features. For me, I believe that had too much clamping force to really be a everyday use for me. We've had a lot more, for me, we've had more comfortable headsets this year that I've enjoyed more than with the Stealth Pro. Some more sponsored content, another Power Station. We get a lot of Power Station sponsored videos. This was a really interesting product. The eSwap with a wheel. It can rotate like 45 degrees either way, left or right. So it's supposed to give it a little bit more of a kind of racing feel, which I spent time with it, but it wasn't a vast improvement for me to really choose to use this over a standard stick. I think it's a really cool concept, but I don't think it made me personally any faster. Also 3D printed our own shifter mount for the Playseat Trophy, because I didn't want to spend $50 for the official one and $100 shipping, so $150 total to get this shifter mount sent to me. So I made my own, and that worked great up until I switched to the GT Racer last month or so. Black Shark V2 Pro 2023, one of the best sounding microphones of last year. Maybe up until Yeah, probably up until the A50X, which came out at the end of the year. Really? You wish you got it over the 7X. What do you... what makes you say that? I guess. What are you most interested in with it? My head keeps covering that up. I wonder if I can... Here. Put me to the side here. Black Shark's just a little more comfortable to me. Oh, interesting. Yeah, very, very comfortable headset. Black Shark has always been very comfortable. Oh, I think we jumped down a little bit. Oh wait, no. We jumped ahead? Where are we? Here we go. All right. And we had, I think, our first Evnia product, which is something, you know, Philips and Evnia did this huge event where they invited a bunch of people, including me, to Paris to like announce this new line they were coming out with, which is monitors, keyboards, headsets, mice. Yeah, I think this was the first Evnia product that we actually got here to try to go hands-on with. And it was okay. But just kind of okay. Didn't really blow me away, and I'm pretty sure it's crazy expensive. Let's see if we have links in here that we can check it out with. The 1300, which is very expensive. Maybe it's not crazy expensive, but it was interesting to me. And actually, I'm curious if we'll get more Evnia things to try out. You know, actually get some of the peripherals in hand, because I think the monitors, you know, Philips obviously has a history of high quality displays, but, you know, hopping into the peripheral world is that's a big step to take when you're going up against people who've been at it for so long. Goose says, yeah, the Nova 7 is better for me than Nova Pro Wireless. ANC bump hurts my ears after about 3 hours. Absolutely. So what did I just see? Oh, I watched Gadgetry Tech. You all follow him? Incredible YouTube channel. He's going to absolutely blow up. And I think see some huge growth in 2024. But in one of his videos, it might even have been the A50X video he was talking about recently, he was talking about the Nova Pro Wireless, and he was saying that SteelSeries did a soft refresh recently, where they didn't really talk about it, but they changed that, the ANC nubs. So I'm not sure. Yeah, absolutely incredible channel. Like, I think he's really going to take off. So I'm not sure how old yours are, but that's something that was interesting to me. Maybe I should try to get my hands on like a newer copy and see what the difference is. Because that was my complaint with them too. The Wicked cushions did fix that for me. And that, you know, still makes it one of the headsets that, you know, always sits like at my desk, pretty much always available and ready to go. Because, yeah, it was the same kind of thing. I couldn't use those stock out of the box because of the ANC bumps. Trying to think of anything else to talk about with the Evnia. I don't really think so. It gets crazy bright. Like, this was the one that I set up outside with one of those portable generators, or portable, yeah, power packs, power banks. Wasn't it this one? I'm trying to scrub through here and see where we did that. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, I took it outside and got it set up to play. And I was able to play fine outside, which is kind of wild. think you bought yours shortly after they came out. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a downfall. They do feel different. But yeah, I'm interested to see what that refresh, or what that change actually looks like. How much of a difference that is. We've covered a couple Fusion Pros. So this year we had the Fusion Pro 3. We had the new G Pro X2 with the graphene drivers. This was one that I had a lot of hope for, but I didn't actually end up using it that much. I guess maybe I preferred, over the summer, I really do enjoy having ANC when I'm gaming because I usually have a fan or air conditioning running in here. And so having ANC is really helpful to kind of knock out some of that background noise when I'm, looking for really detailed audio when I'm gaming. So that's something that these lacked. And the cloth ear cushions let a lot of sound in and out, so a lot of background noise can get through. And then the leatherette ones totally change the sound to make it a lot darker. Entirely different EQ necessarily. You have to have an entirely different EQ, which is really interesting with that. But yeah, when I got these, I kind of expected to like or use them more, and I'm kind of surprised how I didn't do that. The 4060 Ti, Season 5 gameplay for 2042. Oh, the Deagle. Deagle was a lot of fun. I think that's still the secondary I usually run, or at least it was last time I played 2042. HyperX Cloud 3. Moza R5 bundle. So this was a fun little direct drive bundle to get into. And I think it's it's getting close to 100,000 views on this. A lot of people have been checking this out. It's a great way to get into direct drive sim racing if you're trying to find a little bit more of an affordable way to do it. Having a couple upgrades on there is very useful, but it's pretty good right out of the box too. NZXT relay audio, so the auto switching stand here to go between the headsets and the speakers, which is a really cool concept, and it worked really well. You just pick the headset up and it automatically switches to the speaker setup. So that was kind of fun to check out. I liked how it worked, as it should. It's a 360 Go 3, which this is really cool because you can basically use the case as a little wireless monitor and everything. And that was a lot of fun to check out. It's always fun to use these with my kids and find different ways to get funny angles that, I would never really do or be able to do myself, but you kind of like strap a camera to your kids and let them go. It's just fun to see what they can capture. So that's one that I've used with them a little bit, since we did our review. The 4060. So we had a few GPUs that we reviewed last year, pretty much all from PNY. Our kitchen tech, the Ninja Smart Double Oven, which we still use quite a bit. Like I said, my wife is going to be doing some reviews and news articles kind of around the smart home kitchen goods. And so she has a new oven in that she's testing out. She actually got it set up today. So something that's similar to this, but different. Interested to see how that goes. Don't know, reviewed some of those things. Yeah, not getting those on your homepage. Yeah, I can only, this is something that's been interesting, and I've been talking a little bit to Jeff, who runs the 9 to 5 Mac, but is also kind of like the 9 to 5 YouTube. He's, the original 9 to 5 YouTube dude. And just talking a little bit about, 9 to 5 Toys and how broad it is. Because, I mean, if you just look at this page, this little screen right here, we have everything from, I think, is this one sponsored? Yeah, this was sponsored, so maybe we don't take that one into account. But we've got the G7 SE. We've got a GoPro. We've got a GPU. We've got a smart double oven. We've got a sim racing setup. Like, it's such broad subject matter, which is, I don't know, most people that I've talked to, like, you think, like, you hear that, you know, niching down on something is the best way to grow a channel. But in talking to Jeff about that, we kind of talked about how, you know, 9 to 5 is a network. We have all these different channels. We have 9 to 5 Mac, 9 to 5 Google, Electrek, Connect the Watts, and all these things. What, you know, all the creators that work on those channels, you know, maybe if there's something that doesn't quite fit into their niche, maybe tailoring that more towards 9 to 5 Toys, which is a little more broad, a little bit more catch-all in tech. You know, maybe that would work to kind of vary the content on here, but also, you know, have more frequent videos. So that's something I think we're going to try to do in 2024. I think Jeff's going to encourage other people to maybe find some things and post some more things on 9 to 5 Toys. So you might be seeing some different faces. Yeah. 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 So Seth Weintraub, he started 9 to 5 Mac, and now, like, he's, you know, one of the main writers and contributors over on Electrek. That's kind of his baby. And I'm pretty sure in one of our last monthly emails, Electrek kind of overtook 9 to 5 Mac as, you know, one of the biggest sites in the whole network. They saw a lot of growth in 23. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, there are other ones in there too. I think that's most of them. There's Space Explored, which is all about space news. I think that might be... I might be missing something. I can't remember. Let's see here. But yeah, if you go up here at the top, you can kind of find all the... Oh yeah, Drone DJ, of course. All about, you know, drone news. So, Toys, Google, Mac, Electrek, Drone DJ, Space Explored. And Connect the Watts, which is not in this, but that's all connected fitness. Yeah, that's kind of the, that's a little network family there. But yeah, that's something I've been thinking about recently, and, you know, talking to other people in the 9 to 5 group about, you know, the direction of 9 to 5 Toys. And so I think that was the last conversation we had. That's kind of what we're going to be doing, is trying to get maybe some more contributors from the other 9 to 5 communities to also add in here and kind of vary the stuff a little bit. All right. So we talked about the oven. Wait, what did you say? Smart ovens on your shopping list when you move. Nice. Yeah, it's great. You know, we also got a like, this thing supposedly, like, it does air fry, but we got a standalone air fryer from Kasori, which my wife reviewed, and that does a better job at air frying than what the smart oven does. But the smart oven does, you know, it's like 12 different functions, so you can do a wider variety of things than what a dedicated air fryer can. Like, we use this to toast things very, very regularly. And you can also put things in the bottom here and fry them up if you want. I know this was a sponsored video, but we have 2 of these, one in our house and one here in my office, and they're great to pull out and just clean up things really quick. I use it almost daily between those 2 different spaces. Then we have the G7 SE, which is, I think, the best budget controller right now for Xbox. Absolutely awesome. Super, super solid. On the other end of that, we're checking out the new Stealth Ultra controller from Turtle Beach. I almost said Steel Series. It's Turtle Beach, right? Yes, Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra. We're checking that out right now. So in the next couple weeks, I should have a review of that done and put together, which is not a budget controller. It's a $200 controller. Which, if you saw one of our recent live streams, we struggled to get it set up for most of the stream. But since then, I did get it set up, and we have been using it. So, pretty cool so far. Okay, and then we had the Beyerdynamic Bluebird ANC, which, I mean, the name kind of says it here. It had some good aspects to it, but total overkill controller, but I want one, right? You just want one. Crazy. Not one that I ended up using very much beyond the review. And then, yeah, the Osmo Action 4 DJI. Pretty cool. I always love to be able to, you know, go out on a motorcycle ride and shoot some footage. It's a fun thing to do. Then we had, excuse me, the AOC Aegon, the OLED, which is still what I'm using as my main display here. Absolutely love this thing. Just a great, great monitor. And I think we've seen the price come down a little bit since then. Let's see here. Amazon OLED, no. AOC Aegon OLED. Yeah, 800 is kind of the new, like, this is what it's been hovering out for a super long time. Which is great. It used to be $1,000. It's gone down a little bit. Any OLED issues? Hello, Daniel. Any OLED issues with image retention or burn-in yet? Yeah, I haven't seen any issues, and I've been using it for at least 8 hours a day, every day since then, with a good chunk of that being, you know, more text-based stuff here. There is some, you know, OLED text rendering things where it might not look as clean as like a mini LED, but it hasn't been an issue for me, and the gaming performance far outweighs, you know, any sort of like weird little inconsistencies with text. But so far I have not had any issues with burn-in. Absolutely love this thing. $7.99 is a good price. Yeah, I kind of think that's the new standard for these panels. Destiny 2 is absolutely stunning. HDR, probably my personal fave. Nice, yes. I don't think I've played any Destiny 2 on that display. I need to actually probably try that with the Stealth Ultra. Jump back in a little bit and give Destiny 2 a go. But yeah, absolutely stunning HDR. Yeah, and even like the Forza Horizon, like that's an incredible game in HDR too, and really beautiful. Robert, I enjoyed that as a teaser. You get about figuring tech out on the fly. I was entertained. Yeah, when we were getting the Stealth Ultra set up, yeah, that was something. Appreciate people bearing with me who were there. We had another glorious mouse, the Model i2 wireless, which I believe the versions I got had some issues where some of these replacement thumb buttons weren't what they were supposed to be, which is interesting. Still a nice lightweight mouse if you really want that design. With the inner swappable buttons makes it really interesting too. And then we had the R3 direct drive bundle for Xbox, which is a bummer. I believe with Microsoft, changing its licensing with third-party controllers, they kind of Moza got hit by this. And so they are still going through the licensing process, and it's still not technically available because they haven't quite figured that out yet. I've tried the R3 and I've tried the R3 wheel on the R5, and it's worked totally fine. But yeah, they're trying to figure that out. It still says notify me up here. It's not one you can add to your cart. So I do think once Moza gets all this licensed, I think that's going to blow up. Once they can actually sell this and people can buy it and use it, it's an incredible deal for getting into direct drive, especially on a console like Xbox. So that'll be fun to see. We had the FlexiSpot Q8, which I'd been using almost all year as kind of a second setup. You can see, yeah, on the basically as the base for this video, backdrop here. I've been using this for a lot of content creation all year, so I did a dedicated video on it because it's different from the other FlexiSpot desks that I have set up here, where it's just kind of like the top. This one has a lot more features built into it, like the drawer, wireless charging, has some USB ports if you want to plug something else in. It's a little bit more of like a all-in-one feature-rich sit-stand desk. All right, and we had the Superlight 2, which was a little controversial for a little bit. I feel like the tech has kind of, or the opinion about it has kind of evened out. It was a little bit controversial when it first came out, right? But a great mouse. The OG Superlight was so popular for so long because it's a great, reliable mouse. And now there's just an updated version of it with the Superlight 2. V3 Hyperspeed, which I'm interested and excited to see what happens with the Viper line going forward in 2024. Are we going to see these kind of updates to the shape that we saw with the V3 Hyperspeed, or are they going to go back to something like the Viper V2 Pro? We'll see. Subscribe and find out. Just kidding. There's nothing coming up, but I'm just, yeah. Like I said in the sale, I like where this is headed. I prefer this shape to the Viper V2 Pro, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Pedro, is there any Alienware headset AW920H adjustment? I'm not sure. Sorry, Pedro. I can't help you there. Yeah, Chris says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it vibes. Yeah, absolutely. Like, up until Superlight 2 came out, the OG Superlight was still being used by most. What was it, between that and, I'm trying to remember what mice, but it was still, one of the top mice that competitive players were using, and pro players were using, which is definitely saying something. Who says, did not keep my Superlight 2, started creaking like crazy. Oh, yeah. Got a tickle in my throat. Was around a lot of friends and family over the holidays, so we'll see how my health holds up for the next week or so. Had a little tickle in my throat the last few days. I do think that the Death Adder V3 was also high up on that list. Yes, I think you're right, Chris. V2 Pro felt a bit flat and long. I wish there was a slightly smaller. Yeah. Yeah, that's why it'll be interesting to see what Razer does with this, because it is such it's a big step away from the V2 Pro. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if we see something in this shape like this year, because I would imagine like they would continue to iterate on that. Like, this isn't the Pro version, this isn't the crazy RGB version, it's not the Ultimate, it's not the Pro. So will there be some of those this year? It'll just be interesting to see what happens. Sorry, I gotta check some messages real quick here. Okay. Great. Everything is fine. We had an e-bike sponsored video, which is great. This was a really fun e-bike, actually. Some of the sponsored stuff like this, we don't get to keep them all the time, and so they asked for this one back, which we were actually a little bit sad about because I really liked that bike. The MMX 200. Kind of another just kind of not really a standout gaming headset for me. These ceiling projectors, once again, a sponsored video, but these are a blast that we use quite a bit with our kids. So easy to just place wherever you want on a wall, tilt it up for a ceiling. It's great for like if you just want to watch something in bed and you just want to lay down and put up on the ceiling. These are really nice for that. Really cool concept. Another sponsored video, some vacuums, which we also still use quite frequently, which is really nice. These incredible in-zone buds that I've been using pretty non-stop here at my main setup since they came out. Absolutely love these. Just very comfortable, which I feel like is rare to say for wireless earbuds for me, especially like the gaming wireless earbuds. These are extremely comfortable and just incredible sound. Plus ANC, all the other stuff you need. Another sponsored video, but these between 3 ANC earbuds that I actually still use whenever I'm going out for a walk or oftentimes exercising with our equipment in our basement too. I use these quite a bit still. I used them earlier today when I was lifting. I think it's a newer kind of company and it's a different look, but they work pretty well. They're very comfortable too. You can kind of see it's a kind of a big block on the outside, so they didn't have to shove a lot of that stuff into the actual little piece that sits in your ear, so it's pretty comfortable. We had the new Pros, the O2 Pro, D2 Pro, which are solid. I still think that the Death Adder V3 Pro takes the cake, performs better, is more comfortable for me. But if you want to save a bit of money, these are a good option as well. Also had the Alias microphones, which is what we're talking on right now. We have the Alias Pro, and we're using Sonar. I used the other Alias over the sim rig up until we got the A50X, and once again, a great sounding microphone that's very easy to get set up. Very cool. Really impressed with these microphones. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I would really switch it up for right now. I like that I don't have to be directly on the microphone like a dynamic mic, so it's kind of nice to have it set a little bit further away. We had the H6 Flow, which is what I'm still using now. Love this case. It feels like the H9, but a little bit smaller. It doesn't take up nearly as much visual space. It's also smaller. Yeah, really cool case from NZXT. Another sponsored video, another thing we still use, this Eureka E10S with, you know, home mapping lasers, but then also self-empty, so you don't have to empty it yourself a little bit. I still find that, you know, we have a decent amount of carpet on our first floor, and it's really old carpet, like very old carpet, like 30 years, like it's an old wool carpet. It's like, I don't know, 30, 40 years, something like that. Which, you know, no matter what vacuum we're using, it kind of like comes up a little bit. And we also have a long-haired cat who's beautiful but sheds like crazy. And so I find that, like, even if if I tell this thing to like clean my entire first floor, which is like 4 or 5 rooms or something like that, it's like sometimes I have to empty it, you know, halfway through a clean to make sure that like it'll still pick up everything and won't get full. But otherwise, it's been awesome. It works really well in our home. We really like it. We're getting to the end here. We had our favorite gear of 2023. Some of the stuff we're using right now, the InZone Buds, the Alias, the G7 SE. Had another sponsored video, another battery pack power station. Cyber Monday deals, which didn't get many views. That's all right. We had the R16, which is what I'm using now over at the Simrig, and the GT Racer, which I'm also using. So some really fun things that we had in 2023. Some products that are going to be sitting at my desk getting used daily, at least until something else comes out that will replace it, but I can't envision what that would be at this point. InZone Buds are going to be here to stay for a long time, I think. Alias microphone is going to be here to stay. The next review we're going to be coming out with will be the A50X, as long as I can finish everything up. I'm running into some issues right now with it, just as far as like the video switching capabilities. Getting my Xbox to display on my Philips Momentum 55 through the A50X base station is proving to be difficult. So the biggest thing they suggest is, you know, making sure that your cables are actually official rated. So we're gonna order some new cables that I know are solid, and we'll try those and go from there, see if that makes a difference. But I've been using it here at my PC. I've been using it at the Simrig, and I've also used it just plugged into my Xbox without doing the HDMI video aspect of it. So I've been able to use it, but the video switching aspect of it, trying to get that set up, has proven to be more difficult than I thought it would. So that's a little frustrating. But yeah, I'm trying to think. All right, so let's look back and see what the most popular video of 23 was. We had 42,000 views with the H6, and that's only 1 month ago. That's still growing. 77 on the InZone Buds. So that's the current king of 23. 98 on the R5. So that's the new. Let's try to see what the R3 was. 10K. So that's the highest so far. 32, 12K, 30, 17, 45, 59, 103 for the Playseat trophy. which is crazy to me. Like, that's not even a... I mean, I do think the cockpit is a important piece of a sim racing setup, but that's crazy to me. Okay, and that's it. I mean, some other ones were really high, like the H9, and the H6 is also pretty high, so the cases from NZXT are getting some good viewership. The sim racing stuff is also getting some really good viewership. Right. That's what I've been seeing, like, consistently on YouTube analytics. There's at least 1 or 2 sim racing content videos that are always in, like, the top 3 for views for the last month. My comparison between the G923 and the Thrustmaster T300 has, since it's been released, it's constantly in the top. Let me see if... let me check real quick here and make sure that that's true still. But it really seems like the sim racing stuff is what's consistently gotten the most reviews recently. Trying to think, where did I see that? It's like, what's the highest in the period? Well, I don't remember exactly where I find that right now. Right now it's saying, oops, something went wrong for everything I'm trying to look at. So we'll come back to that. But yeah, I agree. It feels a little niche, but you know, if people have also watched the sim racing content related to the, you know, the G923 versus the T300, maybe YouTube is serving them up this one as well because it's also, you know, sim related. That would be my guess. Cockpits perform really well. It's kind of surprised me because it seems so niche. Yeah, watching Jordan race Forza and trying out Forza for myself, conclude that cockpit is definitely the way to go. Yeah, you have a wheel setup? It makes a huge difference. Having something solid for your pedals is probably like the biggest upgrade you can do, because you can get so much more consistent with your braking, which is a PS5 controller. Yep. Although I don't know, I feel like there are a lot of very fast racers that use controllers as well. But I really enjoy the experience on a wheel and pedals. I just think it's fun. I think it's a very fun time. Oh, recently, what did I see? I have to show this real quick. Someone was using the Quest 3 and using pass-through to be able to like play in VR, racing in VR, but then had like they could see their wheel. You could set like a little pass-through window so they could see their wheel. They also set once they could see their keyboard. Like they were set up so you could see them like inside your cockpit. And I'm trying to remember where that was. There's one I just randomly got suggested. I don't remember if it was on YouTube. Let me switch real quick. I was showing it to my brother. Maybe I can look at my history. Here we go. Mixed reality.
Recently,
So this video is a lot of like the setup process, but then just kind of showcases what it can do. Which I don't have a Quest 3 yet to try this on, but this is making me really want to get one. So you can see it here, like they have a little window where they can see their wheel, and they're in ACC. So you can see his wheel, and he's got the keyboard over here. So these little like windows that let you see your objects in real life, just kind of overlaid on top of your game, which is pretty crazy. So you could also do like a shifter and a handbrake. It's very interesting. It has me thinking. It'd be fun to try out. Might have to try one of those out. Trying to think if there are any more examples you can really see. Like the other big thing with being able to see your wheel like that in VR is with, let me grab it real quick. You know, with wheels like the, oh, hey, come back here. Sorry, what is my camera doing? Sorry if I'm making anybody sick. With wheels like this from Moza, you've got all your little knobs. You can control like your brake balance and traction control and ABS and stuff. And if you can't see those, then you can't really tweak them in game very easily. But if you had this pass through, you could still see everything and make those tweaks. So I definitely think I might be seeing if I can pick that up. We'll see. Stay tuned. But yeah, kind of crazy looking back at some of those top videos and seeing what has been the most watched stuff from the year. So, I mean, personally, I'm really enjoying the sim racing content, so we're probably going to be continuing with that. Definitely doing the Forza streams. I do need to find a time to bring back the Battlefield streams as well. I used to do those on Tuesdays, I think, because that's when they usually update all their content. But now we're doing Tech Talk Tuesday. I have to think about that. That could be fun to do. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, is there anything else anybody can think of that they'd like to see more or less of? Moving into this year. I really enjoy doing these live streams. I think it's a great way. I love getting to know people and chatting about tech and hearing people's opinions and thoughts and questions live. It's a lot of fun. So, hoping to at least continue with this. Goose, I vaguely remember the Vision Pro having a similar function. Maybe one day Mac gaming will make a comeback. Yeah, I'm not really holding my breath for that. Can hope. I hope. You know, I was on a Mac for the longest time until I started getting more serious about PC gaming, and that's really why I jumped over and started doing more PC stuff. So I'd love to see that, but I don't have much hope. Battlefield's next update is supposed to be pretty packed content-wise. Yeah, totally. I'm excited to try that out. Maybe that will be our return. I don't remember when that's supposed to be coming out. But maybe that'll be our return to the battlefield. Is there any tech you've been using that won't make the site or the YouTube channel that you can share? Good question. That's a good idea, and that could be an interesting kind of topic or segment going forward as well. You know, we've done some unboxings on here and kind of like talked about some things that I haven't done a dedicated video for. So sometimes there are things that will be that we will be doing like that. I'm trying to think of anything else at the moment. Can't think of anything right now. I do need to do something about, we got some lights from Zion that I've been using pretty much non-stop. My wife uses one inside for her photography, and my main light here is one as well that I absolutely love. And the size of this thing, and it can be battery powered, pretty incredible. It's a little bit more kind of like behind the scenes camera gear tech stuff, I guess. That's what that category would be. Not sure how viable it would be to do at scale, but more head-to-head tech comparisons would be cool to see. Yeah, totally. That makes sense. Something, yeah. Yeah, that would be fun to do too. Yeah, maybe it's just the things that I've chosen to do those with. Like scrolling back down to this macro keyboard comparison between the Razer and the Corsair. And it did okay, but you know, not a ton of interaction compared to the other stuff. And someone mentioned it earlier, but you know, we had this three-way battle between PCs that didn't get as much interaction as maybe I thought it would have. But yes, we have done some comparisons in the past. Like we did our huge headset comparison or headphone comparison, which did okay. Not crazy huge, but then I know that we did a like best Xbox controller thing that did really well. It was a big comparison between controllers and also another one with Xbox headsets. So yeah, we can try to do some more of that this year too. It'd be fun to see. Sometimes I just watch 95 Toys videos when I'm bored. Hey, appreciate that. Just leave the playlist running in the back. No, I really appreciate how much, how part of the channel you've become. I feel like you're present in like every single live stream, and yeah, really appreciate that. And very interactive in chat, which makes this more fun. That makes it a lot more fun for me. Not that there's anything wrong with lurking. I lurk on a lot of other channels too, but interacting is also fun. All right, so I think we're going to start wrapping things up here. So the other thing I wanted to chat about, I think I mentioned it earlier at the start, but I want to start. Basically, I have a lot of things that I'm not going to, I don't think I'll use in any comparisons anymore. They're kind of past their lifespan for me as like in the review category. And, you know, I've given stuff away, like friends and family, like if they're ever looking for something, I always kind of, you know, help them out if I have something that I can, you know, give them. But we still just have a bunch of stuff sitting around that I'm not going to use that we could start giving away to the community here on YouTube. And so I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. I think it'd be fun to tie it with these live streams. So I don't know, need to figure out if we could give it away during the live stream, or maybe it's like a, you know, comment on the live stream after it's done, and then we'll pick a winner, you know, and announce a winner during the next live stream. I'm not totally sure how to do that. But that's something I think I want to start doing here and figure out how to do that. So I'll think about that a little bit more. Maybe next week we'll have an answer, a method for doing that. So yeah, that'll be fun. Chris says this is about the only stream where I actually participate. Great, well thanks. Yeah, this was fun. I really enjoy it. Okay, so next stream should be, I think I'm going to change up the Forza stream this week, and I'm going to do it Thursday morning Eastern instead of Wednesday evening. We're going to do Thursday morning starting at like 9:30. Is what I think I'm going to try to see how it goes. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. I want to try a couple different formats this year and see what we can do. But that's my current plan. But otherwise, thanks for watching and participating. 2023 was a good year. It was a fun year. It's fun to look back and see everything that we covered. It's a wide variety of things with some really interesting things in there. And I mean, this is definitely the year that we've started to grow our live streaming as well. Like looking back at this, one year ago. So we had the Black Friday stuff. That was in November. Yeah, it really was this year that we really started kind of taking off with the streaming. Playing some Battlefield 2042. Quite a bit of Battlefield 2042. And then our Tech Talks. Prime Day deals a little bit. A few live unboxings, which people enjoy doing those? I feel like people do. Especially on kind of like newer, hotter items. I feel like the unboxings, it's kind of fun to just like take a very first look at them. Yeah, none of our streams have like crazy high views, but oh, they're fun, and it's great to have people who are here like consistently that you can, people you get to know. That it's fun to have that community that we've been growing a little bit. Awesome. Okay, yes, people love the live unboxings and first looks. Great. We'll definitely keep trying to do those as much as we can. Yeah, things were kind of hit or miss until we did some Battlefield, but then with Forza, I started picking it up a little bit more consistently. So, awesome. Well, we'll keep going forward with that kind of system right now, I think. So we'll keep going with Tech Talk Tuesdays. We're going to change up the Forza stream to Thursdays earlier. I need to find a time to get Battlefield 2042 back in the mix. Or maybe no, I like the Tech Talk Tuesday. I was going to say maybe we could alternate, but maybe we keep doing those and then just find another time to get Battlefield in. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Well, thank you all very much for hanging out. We're going to wrap it up here for today. If you have an idea on how to do giveaway things, let me know. Otherwise, we'll figure it out and try to get it sorted for next week and kind of announce what we're doing for that whole process. Yeah, that's our plan. Okay. I'm going to sign off. We'll see you all later. Enjoy your week. We'll see you Thursday, 9:30 is what I'm saying right now. Stay locked to our Twitter and community page in case that changes, but that's my current plan. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Daniel, thanks for the great year of content. Hey, thanks for being a part of this. Yeah, it makes it a lot more fun building this community. And try myself play. Good luck. Yeah, so testing out things on Xbox, I downloaded Warzone again. I always feel like I'm jumping into a big unknown whenever I play Warzone. Especially on a controller. It's not what I'm most used to anymore. So good luck in the Call of Duty. Alrighty. We'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Okay, bye.